What it is, what it is. Order, chaos, chaos, order.
Yeah, absolutely.
The balance, my art.
Mm-hmm. In chaos. Well, good evening, America. Saturday Night Live, baby. Pluto is in Aquarius. Speaking of which, oh my God, it's starting off with a bang, especially with all those tornadoes in Mississippi. Ooh, shit.
Tornadoes in LA.
Well, you know what? I bet you the people in Mississippi, they would kill for the one that we had. But the fact that we had one in LA meant that they're going to be even worse everywhere else where they normally get them. If we're getting them, then they're really getting them.
Right. I think
But everything,
tornadoes are not necessarily weather. It's weather associated, but it's beyond weather. It's spiritual.
well, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Well, let me get into the mantra so we can get started here. All right. Through the power, force, might, and will of the great no thing. Through the power, force, and might, and will of the great no thingness of the almighty powers of the great no thingness of almighty flow, the great no thingness of infinite beingness of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible life from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form as we all now will and commanded to be. Now, being and becoming an active force of higher consciousness and an active force of infinite intelligence within us all now, being and becoming the great primordial dragon, God, Son, Kundalini flame. Now, whirling and ascending up our spines from our root chakra to our central heart chakra, on up to our royal crown chakra, igniting our royal crown chakra, illuminating our first eye, our Lord Amunel Dragra, our hidden priestly grandmaster Magi Dragon, God, Son, King, and Queen, igniting all of the 72 chakras in our first eye, our 72 primordial dragon, God, Son, Kings, and Queens, and all of our legions of 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 armies 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 of armies. Now, willing all the powers, forces, mightings, and essences, dark matter and dark energy within the absolute all, into being and becoming all of our will servants, serving all of our wills, objectives, attentions, intentions, and desires, crystallizing them all into realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing commanded to be, now being and becoming an active force of unstoppable energy that we all now need to help us overcome all of the obstacles and adversities in our lives, completely dissolving all of our worries, lack, and problems into nothingness, now manifesting into our lives as all of the substance that we all now need to will and command our lives into the proper order and law that we all now willing command and desire our lives to be, as we all now affirm the positive abundance in the absolute all, as an eachness and oneness in the absolute all, manifesting into our reality and life as divine love, perfect health, and vitality, the abundance of prosperity in the absolute all, enriching our lives and the lives of everyone around us while protecting us from the evil of human thoughts and evil deeds against us and our family, neutralizing all of our enemies, bringing all out war, judgment, death, and destruction upon the evil soulless counterfeit spirits, the ignorant walking dead automatons, and their Lord and God, the demiurge, and its archonic forces, enslaving and feeding off of the energy of the divine spark, the Kundalini race, and all of the entities and deities aligned with the who slayed our souls before creation, trapping them all in this prison of this physical realm of physical matter to be reborn, live, suffer, and die over and over again and again for centuries and millenniums until now. Because now's the time of our rise, as we all ascend to conscious unity, as now's the time of their fall, as all out war, judgment, death, and destruction is upon them all, as we are now willing commanded to be, through the power, force, and might, will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow. The great nothingness of infinite beingness of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible light from which comes the absolute all. All that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing commanded to be abracadabra ashe.
Presto change.
Mm-hmm.
You can go into the libations too.
Okay, let me get labeled. Crown chakra day libations. They're in here somewhere. Oh, there you are. Okay. Crown chakra day libations. Ain, the nothingness, Ashe. Ain soft, the infinite, Ashe. Ain soft or, the infinite light, Ashe. Atik Yaman, the ancient of ancient, the most ancient of days, the primordial Christ, Ashe. Arik Yampan, the big face, Ashe. Atsilith, emanations, the supernal universe manifesting as the holy, divine, infinite, magical names, the cosmic Christ, Ashe. The great abyss of Gnosis, the crown of Zerampin, the small face, the indwelling Christ, Ashe. Berea, form, creation, and paradise, manifesting as our holy, divine, infinite, magical, dark archangels and demons, Ashe. Yetzirah, formation, manifesting as our holy, divine, infinite, magical orders of dark angels and demons, Ashe. Ashia, the actual physical world in the making, manifesting as our holy, divine, infinite, magical, earthly kingdom, Ashe. Yeshida, our holy, divine, infinite, magical spark, manifesting as our holy, divine, infinite, magical will, Ashe. Heya, our holy, divine, infinite, magical life force, manifesting as our holy, divine, infinite, magical desire, Ashe. Neshama, our holy, divine, infinite, magical, heavenly soul, manifesting as our holy, divine, infinite, magical, heavenly thoughts, Ashe. Ruach, our holy, divine, infinite, magical soul, manifesting as our holy, divine, infinite, magical words spoken through us, Ashe. Nephish, our holy, divine, infinite, magical, earthly soul, manifesting into realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing commanded to be, Ashe.
This
Kether,
show, y'all got you finish?
no.
Okay, go ahead. My bad.
Kether, the crown, Ashe. Hakma, wisdom, the supernal father, Ashe. Bana, understanding, the supernal mother, intelligence, Ashe. Da, the great abyss of gnosis, Ashe. Hased, mercy, Ashe. Gabora, judgment, Ashe. Tiferet, beauty, Ashe. Netzik, victory, Ashe. Had, glory, Ashe. Yasad, foundation, Ashe. Malkut, the kingdom, Ashe. The power, force, and might, will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow. The cosmic flower constantly blooming the absolute all into being, Ashe. Okay,
Isis
now,
Ashe, Ypres Ashe, Cyrus Ashe, um, Eugene Ashe, all the gods known and unknown Ashe, all the goddesses known and unknown Ashe.
Ashe.
Um, for those who don't know, who just tuning in, we do the libation and we create the energy. We create a vortex for our show so that we can like dispel all the negative energy that comes, even the positive that comes. and
Mm-hmm.
we can incorporate it into something constructive.
Yeah.
Um, I found this interesting, and you see what's on my screen right now.
Okay. What Pluto transit brings. Mm-hmm.
Okay, it says explore more deeply, forego superficiality of more authentic connection with self, the divine, and other thoughts. This this exploration, um, new levels of intimacy, and intensity in our relationship arise. Right? I think it's a fire or a sign that represents some a spark of energy. Okay, it's a dispels illusion, find truth. Pluto has the power to strip away any false notions we may clutch to, uncovering more meaning, illusions, uh,
No, illuminated.
eliminate, illuminate ver, veracity and
Veracity.
authenticity,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, this is the real deal. This is where everything that all of our great teachers, Bobby Hemmett, C. Freeman L., every last one of them, everything that they've been putting out there, this is where it all comes into fruition. Into
Right.
fruition.
Check this part out though. It says confront your dark side, right? Confront your dark side. Well, we've been talking about all these shows.
Mm-hmm.
Pluto transcend unearth, transits unearth deep fears, forcing us to come face to face with our primal selves. What we fear most can arrive in the form of persons, people, or events observed, surrounder, surrender, learn.
Learn. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right, because this is basically it's culminating the culmination of everything we've been saying is culminating to this energy right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
it's coming into fruition basically.
It's like all the ones before us knew this and they prepared everything that needed to be in place ahead of time as we moved into this to this point to where everything is already in place, and then everything is already in place, the foundation is built. It cannot be unplugged. It,
Right.
yeah, our
Right.
energy.
It's inevitable now at this point. Like
Yeah, it
this is the sign. This is just the signs and the symbols that confirm it.
they yeah, they should have taken us all out by before now. The fact that they wasn't able to, it's too late now.
Oh yeah, because we can utilize this energy right now. Like this energy is so massive right now, and it's primal energy. Remember, because it's saying it's primal energy.
Yeah, and plus with what everything that we've been taught, we've been brought back to the original, ultimate reality, absolute reality. We're gone past the demiurges and the gods, the lower beings, and back to the original ether, the true the creator of all things. That
Look,
was,
this
that
one is
is.
cool too. Look, it says embrace radical new perspectives with Pluto in the fixed air signs of Aquarius. Try to resist the urge to hold on to any relics, beliefs, or judgments. The Earth, the planets of cat cathartic cathartic karatic transformation brink on us to forego ahead.
Embrace
It's where
radical
Pluto
move.
starts its 20-year dance in and out of Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
Yep.
it's showing in the symbolism of the date that it's like a code associated with it.
Yeah. And now you're gonna have to choose.
Oh, the numbers are lining up too. My bad. Go ahead.
Okay, we're gonna have to learn which master we're gonna serve: technology, or the artificial technology, or organic technology.
Right, that's true.
Actually, we can utilize both.
I mean, if in a balance, you know what I'm saying, that's supportive of that energy that we're entering into. Yes.
AI can be a wonderful thing. It can be a wonderful teacher. It can be a
Oh yeah.
wonderful educator. It
Yeah.
can be it can be a wonderful partner to help us get, with all the challenges that we have ahead of us. If if we remember that we're the gods, we're the, AI isn't the
But
thing that's
remember, but remember, AI is just a watered down version of something in natural reality. So there is AI all around us. What you call not well
organic.
organic OI,
Yeah,
which is
organic,
OI, organic intelligence.
intelligent. Yeah,
Right, it's all around us, and because
yeah,
that's where they got the
bioorganic
blueprints from.
intelligence.
So we can tap into that, right? If we can tap into
Mhm.
that higher quantum reality, then we in tune. We basically, because like they told me, bro, these are high priests that I have had conversations with, and they was telling me that our ancestors always knew and was so in tune, they knew where to be and what not to be. You know what I'm saying? When transition periods would happen, they knew exactly where to be.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because they were so in tune with themselves and the oneness, the all. It's crazy because it's like they just done it instinctively at the time. It's not even they didn't even have to force it. That's the energy we in right now. It's like instinctively we're gonna do certain things that just we're not gonna understand it immediately, but it's just gonna move when we moving forward. This is just how you know what I'm saying the evolution works.
Well, yeah, we're gonna be not gonna be subjugated to just this three-dimensional reality. Instead, we're all an aspect of ultimate reality, absolute reality. So that means we can manifest. Each one of us is a manifester of whatever fucking reality we want to manifest.
We already doing it.
Yeah.
You created yourself. You are the self-generating entity that you know what I'm saying that was called the all. The
Um,
self-generating is just you forgot that you don't know how to that process work anymore within you, and that's where we going back to. We're remembering that we
where
were that
Yeah, the master manifester.
right. The
Hmm.
self-generating master manifestor.
The self generate. Yeah, they call that anupadakata, the self generated one, the self born, self created.
So because we all are the all. The all is the one, and that's the thing is that if like I keep repeating, it's not a hive mind. It's not. It's really just That diverse is that diverse as oneness and everything at once.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing my homework on that. Yeah. But before we get into that, is there any way you can go to that video that I sent you and cue it at 45 minutes?
You could just can't you just show it on your I can just
Come on.
show. Can't you just show it on your phone?
Okay, I can do that.
Because this computer be going slow as hell.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I had to go through here and shit.
Mhm.
But yeah, that Pluto energy is very very important right now.
Yep.
Destruction, transformation,
Mm-hmm.
destruction, transformation, power. That's that primordial energy. It's just primordial destructive energy, and we think destruction is negative. No, it gives it getting rid of the old is rehauling the universe. We're rehauling all of these because you know how even when you got your computer, right, you have to back that motherfucker up sometime and rehaul that motherfucker so the computer can roll more smoother. Now, I'm not saying that that's the only thing that's happening here. I'm saying it's beyond that, but that's part of it, a cleansing of the old program.
Mm-hmm.
This is why you think the globalists are calling it a reset, right? They in tune with the same thing we're talking about. They call
Yeah,
it a
they're in
global
tune
reset
because
themselves. They in tune too. They're studying metaphysics too.
you see, but theirs is artificial. They're trying to create an artificial singularity.
Well, regardless, but they know what's happening though. So
Yeah,
we're
the
using the
fact that they're
language
trying to
associated.
create.
Like a lot of times, they are moving in spirit too, and and they don't understand why am I doing this? No, because it's inevitable. The spirit moves you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, Here it is.
Hold on, let me get back. Hold on. Let me, I ain't, hold on. Let me get off
And
this.
Goliath is about to be slain, and they know it. And we're getting help from
Okay.
all over the universe.
Okay, this is Santo uh, Bonacci, Bonacci.
To fight this evil enemy that's been around for about 3,500 years, since the days of Akhenaten. I'll go back into the history of that.
Ignite.
We're victorious. Okay, so there's no need to fear. There's nothing.
We see
Not
it.
even London
I
that's
see
coming.
it.
And it's coming.
If I can see it, I can hear it.
The sun and the earth at 0.2 astronomical units, which is very, 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 very close. And it's going to be going straight past the path of the earth, and we're going to be going right through the tail of it by November this year. That's how close it is. Now, if you send me an email, I'll send you a link where you can see this. There's a 10-minute video thing getting around, and I can email that to you.
Okay.
From China to Mexico and from Babylon to Egypt. Okay, so Sirius is the star that is mentioned there. Our sun is just like I'm going to be. I'm using that figure.
No, he's talking about Sirius and our sun.
Okay? And I'll explain why there's a difference. This movement takes 25,000 years to complete, and during that time, our sun appears to traverse through the various constellations or star clusters. This was already known to the ancient, from China to Mexico and from Babylon to Egypt. Okay, so Sirius is the star that is mentioned there. Our sun was thrown off from another sun, Sirius, doesn't mention it here, but it is Sirius, around which it revolves, taking 25,827 years to perform its cycle of the year. And the person who wrote that, Albert Churchwood, in the 1800s. Now, what happens is they go around each other clockwise, and it takes 24,000 years to do one circle. Okay? When we come close to each other like this, we're in the golden age. So it's a long time. It's about a good solid 10,000 years the golden age lasts. Then we start going to what's called the silver age because of the distance. Now there's more distance, you see.
You're talking about Atlantean energy.
They're saying goodbye. Bronze age. Dark age. Simple as that. You can see that. It's quite clear to understand. Here's one fact that proves that we're in a binary that Walter Crittenden presents, and that is the fact that Sirius, now a bright blue star, 2,000 years ago, was red. This is an amazing fact. When I tell that to people, usually they just don't grasp how important that fact is. Sirius has changed colours. Now again, in this folder that I have about Sirius, I've got, that's Aratus, most 300 years BC. This is 2,300 years old, this poem. One of the first poems dealing with the movement of the suns and the planets and the zodiac and everything like that. Beautiful. In here, it says Sirius is red.
Okay. The point.
They're talking about these planets represent a certain energy, and when they intertwine with each other, that brings about another energy. That's a whole other energy that comes about.
Yeah, consciousness on the planet and our whole solar system completely changes. Everything changes. We are in a whole nother dimension. We're in a higher frequency, higher everything. We lower energy can't live on the planet in a golden age.
Right.
You don't even remember the last golden age. They won't let us read, but our DNA is starting to wake up to that because we're coming back. And I mean, at some point that alignment is going to happen again. We probably won't see it in this lifetime, but an aspect of us will still be left here to incarnate over.
Look, the thing about it is that's why I always talked about the multidimensional aspect. We already doing that. It just now is becoming clear. Like, for example, they're saying it's clear that it's some objects that's in the atmosphere, in the stratus, in so-called space.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that it ain't, because third dimensional reality is we're moving slower, and that's a different perspective. When we go into other hyperdimensional realities, which we go into, that's a whole nother. We're going to see things differently. Like those things that we're seeing now, they were already there. They were always there. It just we wasn't tuned into it. We wasn't on that frequency yet. Like you said, we wasn't vibrating at that level yet.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing all this stuff now, and we're conscious of it. It's not seeing. It's just a sensory perception of consciousness. So
because we're getting closer to our mother.
Right. No doubt.
Okay. When we get closer,
that mother energy, that mother force, that mother energy flow. We get close when they say may the fourth be with you. May the fourth be with you, right? Because it is with you.
Yeah. See, now as we go into this golden age, we will, consciousness is going to evolve, but still it's going to have, when we get to the end of the silver age, consciousness has to be at a certain level before we go into the darker ages. And whoever is in power at that point, if they don't have their house in order, as we go on the other side of the season, the darker side, when we get back around to the next golden age, they won't be in power. Someone else new will be in power.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's a story about it. That's why I urge y'all to just watch the DC world, anything coming out of the DC world, anything coming out the Marvel world, because they're incorporating all these mythos inside of their modern mythos. They're incorporating them. So
they're talking
we
about
have deeper understanding of these elementals, of these deities that are been anthropomorphized, that are cosmic forces and elementals that they have anthropomorphized. They're going in on those things right now.
Well,
they have a whole They have a whole episode about chaos and order, and then chaos and order. Inadvertently, they will still, because they can't bleed into each other. They can't interact with each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
But inadvertently, because of the conflict going on Earth, right? They created a being that's order and chaos at the same time.
Okay.
Remember the picture I showed you?
Mm-hmm.
So look, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm tuning into that narrative. I'm tuning into that, like, because it's a mythos, right? The mythos is continuing to grow, and people ain't paying attention, right?
Okay, so
that shit is continuing to grow.
Okay,
that's why I'm saying the Marvel universe and the DC universe, they're taking it further. They're expanding those energies. They're expanding those, and that's what I'm saying. We need to be doing that.
Yeah, well, yes, they're taking us into Aquarian. They're giving us their Aquarian energy. They know about the Aquarian age, and they're trying to be taking control of the narrative. But
they can't control them. They can't. They try. They just can get to a lot of people who are still in the matrix. That's it. That's all they can do. And the matrix is nothing more than a trap that you put yourself into. All of those who are in the matrix, you volunteered to do this. You volunteered to be in the matrix. There is no, the transatlantic slave trade. Now we're realizing that no, that's not what happened, because at the same time the transatlantic slave trade was going on, we was enslaving the Europeans.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just be real, because and they blocked that from our consciousness because they didn't want us to have the same esteem and understanding of legacy that they had for esteem reasons. It's crazy because that right there is cosmic, and that right there alone is just cosmic in ramification, though. People don't understand that.
Well, in order for them to rule the time that they had to rule, we had to be ignorant. If we became conscious, that would have interrupted the time that they were allotted to be able to rule on this planet.
Right.
But that time's up now.
And it's crazy how allotted is very different. That's why the treaties are actually an intricate part of understanding this legacy, this long history of our rulership on this dimension, and that's what I refer to it as. We've been ruling on these. We just fell from. We just every now and then, couple of hundred, probably no more than a couple of thousand years. We fall from
dark ages.
rulership.
we went through a dark age, and we ruled for so long. We had to degenerate and go into the dark ages on a degeneration, so that way we can go through this alchemical process of
Discovery.
putrefaction and fermentation, and become a new being. So when we come into the next Aquarian age, something else emerge out of into the come into the Aquarian age that never been before. We become
Right.
something else. We don't go back into the golden age as the same creature or the same being that we were the other 25,000 years. This time we're going into the golden age as something completely different. And that's going to completely change the entire landscape of everything.
It's already changed. I mean, you can see the synchronicities are just overwhelming, bro.
Yeah.
It's synchronicities all over the place, bro.
Yeah, we purposely fail. Well, not just purposely, but we had to fall because all things must fall in physicality.
We can never rule forever, bro. That's just boring.
Yeah, you can't.
That's just boring, man. Come on.
No,
Man.
falling is part of you gotta fall. You gotta degenerate to your lowest grotesque level,
and that's
and
exactly
start
what
all
we
over
did.
from there.
That's exactly we at our. This is how we know we're going back up, because we at our lowest.
Yeah,
we are at our lowest.
Yeah,
in this human shit.
And so that means we almost got nothing. We're almost nothing, but that's great, because now in the nothing we have all the potential.
Right. We see, and that's the problem. That's exactly what's going to be the people's problem. Is you're still holding on to the old energy. That energy is depreciated into something else now.
Don't work no more.
You can't hold on to that anymore. It's like holding on to water unless you got a container. If you try to hold it onto your hand, it just goes through your fingertips.
And you don't know. They don't know that they could pull energy out of space.
Right. This is exactly because think about this though. That's what they're saying with the new free energy science.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's not just on a spiritual level. This is happening on every
material
level, every level of existence. This is happening.
Yeah.
So there's no running away from it. This is why we thinking that the powers that be, and we so focused in that. This is what I see in the so-called conscious community, right? All I see in the conscious community is people talking about what the ones who don't have no power are doing. We call them the powers that so-called the so-called powers that be. They the ones don't have no power. This is why they have to hoard all the resources. They have to hoard all the resources for their own, because this is how much energy it's going to take for them to even attempt to even. They have ambitions of trying to counter the gods and counter the higher dimensional beings, right? They have ambitions, but this is what we looking at. We looking at it like, damn, they're so powerful and they're so overcome. No, they're not. No, they're not.
No,
they're fucking desperate right now. They
need you to think that. They need you to think that.
They need you to think they're so powerful. Yes.
Yeah, they're banking that you do. But if you don't, and you turn to your energy, which is greater than theirs, our energy is the Ain soft, or. There's nothing above that.
Right.
Okay? That's our energy. That's above the gods.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, we've always been on that
That's
level.
the energy that breed the gods.
Right. Ooh. Right. Right. For real shit.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the energy that we're working from now. That's the energy that we're manifesting from now. That's the energy that that's just the fucking that's the shit that's under the hood in my car.
Yeah. It's overwhelming. It's exciting. It's very it's interesting. You know what I'm saying? Whatever adjective I can come up with to describe it, bro, it's just ooh
Yeah, and what's
overwhelming.
going to happen? We're going to go right back into the way, you know, the original, in the way the energy was originally, how we were in tune with all the cycles in the heavens. We could read, we can read the stars, and out of the stars we can write books, because the Bible was written out of from what was
Right,
happening
right,
in.
right, right. That's this is exactly what you need to be doing then if that's what you inspired to do. Whatever you're inspired to do, like put it like this: the mundane world is get you caught up. I'm not saying just, and which I am saying it because I said it years ago and I got beat down because people told me, "Oh, you just can't cold turkey it." I cold turkeyed it a long time ago. Just
Yeah,
because
me.
I engage in the bullshit, don't mean I haven't cold turkeyed this shit. Because I don't need this shit. You
I
feel me?
did.
And that's the mantra. That's the energy you need to put yourself in. Because I think a lot of times the dependency in the matrix throw you off. Your dependency in the matrix and your not only dependency in the matrix, that you just so in tune to that bullshit that you forget who you actually are.
Well, do you believe that this is the end all be all? This is
But
the
that's what's
physical
holding
world.
you up, though.
All. Hmm?
That's what's holding you up. We keep going back to regularly scheduled program. Like we can, like for example, we can do this program, and I'm not going back to regularly scheduled program. My life is based in basically outside the grid, but on the grid at the same time.
Regular scheduled programming is getting fucked up right now. If you haven't checked, you seen what happened to Mississippi. You seen what happened to California. Shit, look
That's
at that.
exactly what needs to
Regular,
happen, though. That's exactly.
regular
I'm cheering that
scheduled
on.
programming is being erased by
I'm
Mother
cheering it
Nature.
on.
Yeah,
I'm like,
this shit,
yeah, bring it on. We
this
need
shit,
that. We
this
need
shit is not.
every disaster to snap our consciousness into place.
Yeah, to
Because at
wake
the
us
end of
up.
the day, we think this stuff, and we're so fixated on death and physical shit, just mundane demiurge crap, right?
Yep.
That as soon as we figure it out and realize that I'm not just a physical being. So physical reality, even the ancestors tell you, enemy death is not an enemy of man. Because when you reach you when you come when you end your journey here, you move on to another aspect of yourself. I'm paraphrasing, but this is not the end. This is you have to realize this is not your infinity. You're actually infinity personified. You're infinity personified. So it's like your
Absolutely.
end of your personality, which that personality it reverberates forever. It reverberates forever. So
Yeah.
you don't lose none of this shit. This matrix, this scenario that we in, this shit is gonna reverberate forever in time.
I don't know. This motherfucker can be completely obliterated, and our consciousness will still be left, but we just won't have a world. But we'll be able to. eventually manifest a new world again and start all over.
Well, this is the thing about it. Like, you see how when people are disembodied, suddenly they go to purgatory.
Hmm. But if
This is the
but if the
same
entire
situation. It's going to
but
be the
if the
same
entire planet,
type situation. You feel me? How many?
yeah.
How many of those? How many of those people in Turkey right now in purgatory?
Oh shit. Well, actually, I did rituals where I was snatching some of them up.
Right. I mean, I want their soul to ascend because if their soul ascend, then that's more energetic. That's more energy. That's more we can bring
Yeah,
in. Bring it. Yeah.
shit, that
Let their
was a
soul
smorgasbord.
ascend. That's what I'm.
That
That's my
was
ritual. I'm like, let their souls ascend to the next level so that that energy can, you know what I'm saying, not only leave room for energy to come in, because that's people don't understand. Energy is flows like water. Okay,
yeah.
right?
Hmm.
You got certain energy occupying that space that other energy can't come in at the moment. You got to allow that energy to move to another vibration or move to a lower vibration and allow another energy to come in.
Yeah. Well, that energy can be used on the other side to become, like Bobby Hemming used to say, an extraterrestrial army.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, that energy could be turned into.
Let me see. Let me see if I can share this time, man. I don't know. I want to share. See if I can share this video, but this motherfucker be going so slow. Let me see.
Mhm.
Go ahead and start. Keep talking. I just want to see if I can do this right quick. Cause
Yeah, but now Pluto in Aquarius at this particular time, anything can happen. I mean, this shit could be obliterated completely, and that won't be the end.
oh no,
It,
hell no. I mean, energy can be destroyed when you absorb and transmit it.
yeah, but see, we might experience it on the ultimate level, where on a global planetary level, where it is completely annihilated. We or someone or something do some shit to completely fuck this up, but we start all over again. We're gonna start all over again, a new world, a new earth, uh, in a new space, a new heaven,
Right.
a new man and a new woman, or a new beingness.
Okay, let me see. This is a video where Bobby Hemming was basically giving anecdotic my insight on how we enter into this apocalyptic time, the in world energy and shit. Okay, let's see. Hopefully he is okay. History. Yep, there it is. Let's see. Let's see. Where is it at? Where is it at? Y'all. Y'all. See this motherfucker going slow as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Slow as fuck, man.
Yafa
I just gotta erase a lot of stuff on here. I got a lot of stuff on here.
Yeah, I like Dr. Yafa Bay.
Yaka Bay is a mastermind. He's a
Uh-huh.
mastermind. You
Yeah.
feel me? Listen to this right quick. Let me see if
Okay.
I can turn this on right quick. You can hear it a little bit better. Okay. See how slow this shit going?
I can play it on my phone. I can get that on my phone.
What am I listening to right now?
Bobby Hemmett, the soul. Okay, I got it.
Particular changes is because your physical body is the low level, but your spiritual body is now getting to the point that it is rejecting your physical body. Now, let me explain this. What this means is, what this means is, if you have a goal in mind And you were an advanced incarnation that came back down here to be at a period of time to learn a certain amount of discipline that you can help your people. And 98% of everybody in here is that type of person. How many people in here want to know knowledge?
Yeah.
First of all, raise your hand.
I can hear
But
you.
if you're interested in knowledge, if you're interested in knowledge and you have a goal in mind, and you were an advanced incarnation that came back down here to be at a period of time to learn a certain amount of discipline that you can help your people. And 98% of everybody in here is that type of person. How many people in here want to know knowledge? First of all, raise your hand. How many people are interested in knowledge? If you're interested in knowledge and you love knowledge, for example, back 10, 15 years ago, we would have been out partying somewhere or in some church somewhere. But the mere fact you were sitting up in a damn classroom on Saturday night lets you know that you are an advanced soul. Because if you weren't an advanced soul, there's no way that you would accept this. You would reject this just like the average black person. So you agreed to come back in the future and help your people. What is happening because now you have been sunk into slavery or you have actually lost your mind and you now just regain your memory. What is actually happening here is this. You had a contract that you needed to doggone fulfill. And you're obligated to fulfill that contract. So now what is happening is your higher spirit is the one that incarnated back down here. So let's say your higher self or your true self have a goal in mind. They want you basically to understand a certain amount of knowledge that is key for itself to wake up. Your soul wants you to understand a certain amount of knowledge that is key for your soul to wake up. But yet you have other agendas. And all of a sudden, when you find these other agendas, no matter how hard you try, they seem to fail over and over and over again. You will understand that your own energy, your inward energy, is making a hostile environment around you because it wants you to liberate it by giving it the keys and the nourishment that can make it grow and illuminate. You get this? So
check this out. Let's even go deeper on what he's talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like people who think that because I'm successful physically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I like wealth, physical wealth, abundance, and everything.
Material.
They're damning themselves, right? Because now you have created an energy that makes it where you can't live without that anymore.
Yeah.
Right? But you can control that energy because if you can imagine having abundance and still not be materialistic, superficial, and able to give all that stuff up at any time.
Well, again, we are the master manifestors. We can.
That's what I'm saying. This is you see because you when you just said that, right? We think you're saying that like it's just that easy. No, it's not. No, it's not that easy though. We saying it sounds easy.
Yeah.
It's work.
Yeah.
It's work you got to do within yourself, not just realization work, dark work, right? There's rituals that need to be done. Like you're not doing rituals. Like people think I gotta do rituals, and
you're building the energy. You're trying to create energy that you're gonna need to be successful.
Right.
Pulling this whole thing off. Period. You need to do rituals to give yourself energy to make it through the fucking day and come out of this shit alive.
Yeah. Right. Not imagine. People, because we are not mindful of the rituals that we actually do. We actually doing rituals constantly. You're not.
Yeah.
A lot of people are not conscious of the rituals, but you're doing them.
Yep.
But once you get conscious of them, then you start setting them up in your interest. Oh my, that's a whole nother level. Like for example, setting up an altar is not just to tap into the other realm. No, you're creating an energy, a vortex. So now, when you want to utilize that energy, you created a window. You created a vortex. Now you can pull that energy and pull back. See, because anytime you pull energy out, you have to pull it back in. It's a reciprocation all the time. That's the thing that people don't realize. That's what they're referring to as dark magic. If they're not trying to be reciprocal, it's just take the energy, right? They're calling it dark energy, but it's the other way around. That's actually light energy. That's light magic. They got us all twisted up, bro. They got us all twisted up, and that's how they're reversing polarity on the frequencies of the rituals. Like your rituals are rendered ineffective if you're not understanding what I'm saying right now. Your rituals will be rendered ineffective because you're already under a ritual. This is what I was in a class of commercial, not commercial, but a contract, right? And they talked about how the original contract supersedes any other contract that came after it, right? This is what Bobby is talking about right now. He talking about the contract you got with your higher self, right? Because it's going to supersede. It's going to supersede any other contract. So all those other affairs that you have are minuscule to the great affair. That's why they talking about. That's why they talk about.
Bow down to that.
Yeah, that's why they talk about in the Bible. What's it to gain the world but lose your soul?
Oh,
nothing.
Shit,
it's like
you gave something the most precious. You gave up a block of gold for a penny.
Right.
You gave up a mountain of gold for pennies.
Right.
Yeah, because your soul is a mountain of gold, and the richness, the millions and billions or trillions over here is just pennies in the spirit world. But you're suffering.
Go ahead.
And so everything around you.
Damn, this is going. What you saying?
Our suffering is currency in the spirit world. Everything.
Damn. Wow. That's why entities over there are taking advantage of that energy too.
Yep.
That's why they put us through this suffering. Oh my God. How? Oh, fuck. They're harnessing fear. They're harnessing our inhibitions. They're harnessing all of the aspects of your lower self undevelopedness, the demons. That's why I talk about mastery of your demons is your genius. Because you know how in the Titan movie, whatever happened in the human drama affected the gods. Right? So once we understand that polarity, that exchange of energy from higher realms to lower realms, right? And that flow of energy, you understand that? You become the master of it.
Yeah, but creating spiritual currency through our fucking suffering, through the things, the anguish, or the disappointments, or the the bullshit that we have to go through in our development. Huh?
The inconsistencies, the you know what I'm saying? All of the lower self things that go on from the process of development.
Yeah.
Right?
And just
you go through all that, then eventually, and oh my God, oh shit.
In the suffering that we go through, the self-suffering is currency in the spirit world.
Right.
It's worth millions, billions over there.
Right. That's why I said
your tears.
There are entities that harnessing that energy.
Yeah. Our tears are like diamonds. in the
Damn.
spirit.
Suffering, misery.
and not just the misery part, but the suffering for triumph. The suffering going through the trials and tribulations. The suffering that we go through as we going through our trials and tribulation, that become currency, and it pays off for us in the end. It pays dividends. That's the currency that we get to spend in the end.
Right.
That changes everything. That currency is so valuable, it changes reality. It's just like
Hell from you. You see, and you won't understand what is happening, why your job, why all this, and why all this here, and why I can't seem to do this, why I'm a failure, and all of this. You can't understand what the hell is going on. It is going on for the simple fact that your spirit saying, I don't want that shit. I've been down here enough far through many incarnations for the bullshit. So
That's what I'm going through right now. Exactly what he's talking about is what I'll be going through every day. It's like, because I my cardinal self is like, get your ass up and go work, whoa, right? But my higher self is like, nigga, fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I literally got to fight that aspect of myself, like, but I'm balancing it out though, because I understand that we're bringing heaven down to earth. We're order out of chaos beings, so we operate in both states.
Yeah, we can
operate in both states without a flaw. So it don't matter if it's misery. It don't matter if it's victory. I mean, I still am recognizing what's going on here.
Yeah. Just as long as you're creating the currency that your soul needs to be able to get by.
Got down here to do a certain job. So until this damn nigga finds out, we'll both have problems to the point where as I will even bring him down to death so I can get the hell out of the body and just be a force myself. So this is what's actually happening right now. Right now, most people are having this type of consciousness. You're having money problems. That's guaranteed. Also, you got to understand some of the other people who seem to do all right is the most dead. You see what I'm saying? You got some people that ain't got shit, but they don't never suffer about nothing. About like the white man. And some black people. And because their souls are still too young, especially black people. We're talking about us now. Their souls are still very young. And at this particular time, by their souls being very young, they are still intrigued with this bullshit because they haven't gone through it enough. So they're intrigued with all the physical bull out there because they haven't been here long enough. But you are, hopefully it's supposed to be you, no matter how much wealth you get, something is still wrong. Something is still not true. And that is because don't negate your contract of what you're supposed to be doing at this particular time.
Right. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, you have to honor your contract with your higher self.
Yeah. I mean, you made an agreement with your higher self.
Shit. I mean, that deal is way more powerful than any deal you can make with the devil.
Well, but that deal supersedes any other deal that you made. So all those other deals were like null and void.
Yeah.
So that's what I learned in the contract class. Like, it was a dude, he was teaching contract, right? But understanding contract is basically understanding how a spell works, right? Because when you are a magi, you understand you don't get caught in the mesmerization of somebody else's spell, meaning um, they cannot do it. You don't contract under terms and conditions of somebody else, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You supposed to, meaning you're not supposed to be caught in a situation where you are compromising a portion of yourself to contract with someone, because on a spiritual level you basically gave up a little bit of yourself to compromise, to concede. You gave
Yeah.
up a little bit to yourself to concede for what? To get a little bit of you know what I'm saying? Like how they love the devil for giving them nothing.
But see, what they did though, they did it to our parents, and then our parents do it to us.
Those contracts are null and void too. Why? Because once you step into the age of maturity, you take control of the estate, right? Because everybody is born with an estate. They have
Mm-hmm.
properties in their estate. One of the properties, what's the first property in your estate, which is your name, right? Yourself, your body, your physical body. What
And
also
alien
within your state is
rights.
what also, because of your body is in your state, you own your behavior.
Yeah, and you have inalienable rights. No government, no
Whoa.
monarchy.
You do, but you have to understand what I just said in order for your unalienable right, because you don't have rights if you don't know them. So you have to understand the dynamics of this metaphysical lesson of the fact that you were born with an estate. You were born with property, right? And the state, I said a state, right? But the state, meaning the government, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
claiming a portion of your body. They're claiming through the birth certificate, through the social security card, and you're
Oh,
agreeing to it. You're agreeing to it unconsciously, right? What they call it, uninformed consent, right? Which is
and
against the law. All that
and
stuff that they're doing is against the law. They're creating new look. Oh my God, they
not
are.
only
They got new, like, everybody know about the UCC, right? But do you know about the UCCC, the Uniform Credit Commission, or credit corporate commercial credit commission? You ever heard of that?
I may have.
Well, that's just strictly dealing with the credit aspect of your financial uh, um,
From
disposition.
what from what I understand, when our parents signed our birth certificate, that number in our social security card, okay, it became a bond, and that bond is traded on Wall Street, and that bond is worth millions or billions of dollars. Okay, so we already have this treasury, this bond in our name, in our number, our
Oh,
birth
but
certificate
the
number.
bond is not of value, though. That's what I'm saying. Regardless of what they've accumulated, the value of the bond is the fact that they have stolen your birthright, and whatever they owed you in taxes is what they're trying to calculate. But what they're doing is they're making you voluntarily give up the original debt, which is their debt to you, that their debt to you, because you're a sovereign on the land.
Mm-hmm.
But they're reversing it, making it the debt. The debt, you're liable for the debt now because they reversed it. But they
Yeah,
actually liable for the debt. So
there.
regardless of the bond that they created and whatever, the bond is not valuable at all. That bond don't have no value. The bond, as a matter of fact, the bond is just there to um, make just what they call it, preliminary. It's like it don't even, that shit is all null and void once you get deeper into understanding aspects of your disposition, political, legal, disposition, your political disposition, your legal disposition, and yes, political disposition, legal, economic disposition, your capacity to do commerce, right? You understand that, bro? They don't have no authority at all, at all. You could all the authority they ever had, you gave it to them.
Unknowingly.
Yes, because you that's another thing. Your signature, you own your signature. You can't give your signature away willy nilly, right? And a lot of it is based on fraud because everything in the contract has to be upfront disclosed. Everything in the contract must be disclosed. Now they got fine print on some of these contracts. Everything is not disclosed. That immediately makes the contract null and void.
Okay, all right. So this government, this de facto government, this corporation, who's the head, the main head of this corporation is the Vatican, right?
I think it's shared that it's like their shares, right? China owns a share. China owns a share. Russia owns a share. The Vatican owns a share. The UN, or however the European powers work, they own a share. And really, they're actually, because what was that conference they had where they were divvying up Africa?
The World Economic Forum?
No, that wasn't it. That was that it. I mean, it was a European. They had a European conference where they were literally going through how they were going to divvy up Africa. People don't even know that's a see. When you saying Africa, that's like a code word, bro. It's a political term, but it's a code word too because we in Africa. This is Northwest Africa over here. If we want to talk about Africa. This is
but the real name is Alchemy. But Alchemy.
I mean, Alchemy is another. We had a see. What I'm talking about is like you have to understand that we getting the metaphysics of it, right? Is explaining more on what's happening on a physical level than the physical thing that's explaining on a metaphysical. So what I'm saying is that word Africa is metaphysical in nature. So whenever they saying Africa, that's a Q word. They're not just. I'm those who know, right? So when I'm talking about how they divvying up Africa, they divvying up half the planet because basically that's what when they say basically what I'm saying, they're talking about the people who rule the planet when they say Africa.
Okay.
Prior to this new so-called paradigm that we gave them custodial power, we gave them custodialship over the authority, the ruling authority. You can find out all this through.
They abused it, and they used the power to deceive us.
Yes.
And by deceiving us,
they was authorized to do all this stuff. We told them to do it.
Well, they wrote it in their Bible.
We are, bro.
But they wrote it in their Bible too. It's in their Bible in Revelations.
Yeah. I mean, that's questionable if it's theirs or not. I don't know if it's theirs or not because
but that's the whole thing.
Belongs to them.
But they deceived us by taking us off of our 24,000 year calendar. And
they minimized us, made us think we was humans, and we were just humans.
And they took us off of the
now we're on the same level as them as being subhuman.
But how can we know ourselves if we're not on that 24,000 year calendar?
No, we don't right. know. At the end that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you by saying what I just said because our perspective is narrowed, right?
Yeah, we think we're them.
Cosmic in scope.
Yeah,
our thinking should be cosmic in scope, but we're thinking domestically human.
Yeah.
And we way beyond that.
We're way beyond that.
Right.
Yeah, we're.
But that's what we get caught up at. We get caught up because we're constantly engaging in humanity.
Okay, but not only are we way beyond that, but we're something new too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. We don't even know what the fuck we are.
I mean, this is the stage where it's formless and it's potentiality. That's why I came up with the potentiality reality. I'll be ahead of myself, bro. I'm trying to tell you, the stuff that I'll be coming up with, people gonna be talking about this shit in the next 10 years, bro.
Yeah, the
like,
technology that
the whole multidimensional reality. I was saying that like way before they talking about it, bro.
Uh-huh.
I have a whole album talking that's named My Mind is the Universe You Live In.
Yeah.
So I was already talking about the stuff that I'm talking about, bro. I'm talking about the multi-potential reality. That shit gonna be watch when they finna start talking about that shit in a minute. Right? It ain't multi-reality, it's multi-potential reality.
Yeah, absolute reality, or ultimate reality.
Like you just said, the potentiality is there, right? But it's formless. It's not. Mm-hmm. It hasn't decided what it wanted to. Once it decides what it's going to be, because this is what I'm saying. This is the state of evolution too. You can see it because once the energy decides what it want to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
That energy is conscious of the fact that that's going to set duality in again.
But what if the energy decides it want to be?
Thank you.
It want to be formless. It want to be able to form itself into anything it want.
Exactly. Thank you. That's the potentiality part of it. Look, in that state right there, right? It may stay in that state for the next 25,000 years again, or 50.
Yeah.
It might decide like I'm just staying in this state right here. I don't know what the fuck it's gonna be.
Or check this out. What if
what's gonna come? What's gonna come about? You can't answer that question because whatever you think is gonna come about, that's not what it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's gonna evolve into something else. It may turn into several different things.
Right.
It may evolve into 4 different universes. One unit, can you see how one universe can evolve into 4 different universes?
Yeah.
One universe can split apart and become 4 different universes.
Listen, the possibilities are like endless, literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. It's endless. Yeah. Ultimate reality. Ultimate reality is all reality. Unlimited reality. I mean, we're not subjugated to just one reality or one set of laws. You can be subjugated to one reality or one set of laws within a certain reality that you agreed
check this out. See, the synchronicity is cold, brother. That's why it's necessary that like this is divine that we came together and made a show together. Because I'm speaking, you speaking. I'm just, for example, I actually looked up what's higher than God, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I finally did because for years I already knew that something was higher than God, but I never looked it up. I actually looked it up the other day.
Oh, okay.
That's what it said.
What?
Nothing is higher than God. Woo!
Nothing.
Nothing is higher than God, bro.
Mm-hmm.
The religious people right now, they're thinking, oh, yeah, there's nothing higher than God. No, nothing. The nothingness.
Nothingness is higher than God. God is an aspect of the nothingness.
Exactly.
But so are
now
you.
We're going into the multi-potentiality because the multi-potentiality could be described as nothingness too. Because it's formless. It hasn't came into reality
No,
yet.
it's the container. It's what contains everything that is, that was, that is, and that is being and becoming.
Right.
Yeah. And it's beyond everything that's contained within it. And and it got all the space to contain whatever the fuck can be that can be.
This shit got me
And
smiling like a motherfucker when I'm thinking about it. It's like, wow.
yeah,
I know that it's something that we've never, ever experienced before. But it's something that we've always experienced.
yeah, we've experienced it before because this is supposed to be the fourth eternity of the seven eternities. So we've experienced three eternities prior to this eternity.
And that's crazy how eternities can be broken down into levels and shit.
Yeah.
God damn.
This shit is cold, man. This is a cold shit.
It is. Like,
it's a cold.
How could you break down eternity? Eternity is forever. Nigga, what do you mean? Different eternity.
Eternity runs out. Eternity runs out.
Damn.
At some point in eternity can run out. It's a very, very long.
I think it's that for higher dimensional beings, for humans, we're looking at what eternity is. That's not the same for higher dimensional beings. Eternity, it's not the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing. To us, on our level, in eternity, yeah, it would seem like forever. But to us, what to a higher being, what would be forever to us would be like a little dot, a little circle for them, because their scope is even much more grander than ours, and much more in multidimensional. But we're no different. That being is still an aspect of the absolute all, and so are we.
You didn't know I do two shows. You know it's beyond, so you can come in. Bro, you should have kept talking. We don't need that air. But yeah, we gotta cut the show anyway.
Yeah.
I need to get ready for the Primordial Rhythm Radio show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
check that out on Mixcloud, Primordial Rhythm Radio.
Yeah, I can go on my email. I think it comes on my email.
I text it to you all the time. Damn.
I don't go on my email every day. Shit. Man. I don't be on this. I don't be on this technology shit like that all the time. But you do text it to me though.
Yeah, I text it to you all the time because I want you to peep it out.
I played it. That shit sound good. That shit. Yeah, you are ahead of your time.
All right. I mean, I'm putting a lot of information out through music and shit. So it's like a palette. It's a palette that most people are willing to accept it in.
Yeah, music, man, it's nothing like music. People,
right? I mean, it's like a way to get people to consume things that they wouldn't necessarily consume otherwise. Put Bobby Hemmett to a beat is a different energy now.
Yeah.
And that's basically what I do. I put like Phil Valentine, Bobby Hemmett, Yafet Bay, all of the great teachers, all of the masterminds. I put they lectures, portions of their lectures, the one that the part of the lecture that's saying something real profound, and I put it to a P.
That's that's cool. That's some
Right.
cool shit. I can dig that. I can dig that.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Primordial Rhythm Radio.
Yeah, and it
Check it
does
out.
sound good
Big
too.
Cloud.
It does. It sounds good.
It's just the music. Really, it's really music you can get high to, man. This is really that's just real. Get your
Yeah.
blunt, smoke your blunt, smoke your
Mhm.
zigzag, whatever you smoking on your herb and shit, herbs.
Yeah. Or Panic Herb Pack if you if you one of
Right.
them.
For me, that music is going to complement your high.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, from what I
Because
heard, when I
I'll
listened
be
to
going on all different. I'll play some jazz. I'll play some experimental soul. I'll
it.
play I'll play shit like I'll play shit like outtakes of Parliament.
Mm-hmm.
Outtakes, not they what everybody used to. Their outtakes when they was just jamming jam sessions and shit.
Oh,
That
oh,
no, you never thought they recorded, but they recorded some of their jam sessions.
oh.
Like you feel me? And they
Uh
were
huh.
probably meant to be private
Uh huh.
when they let them out.
And that shit was too goddamn funky to be just. The world got to hear that shit.
I mean, funkadelic to me is like the metaphysics of that time. They was on the metaphysical level of that time and shit.
They were pretty
They
much
came up with
ahead of.
their own mythos too and everything.
Yeah.
So they was on the frequency, man. They was
Mm-hmm.
on the frequency.
Yeah,
That's
they
like
knew
one of the
about the.
number one. That's to me, they like the number one band of all times, if you ask me.
Yeah,
Funkadelic Parliament.
metaphysically. Yeah, they're like the ultimate psychedelic band. That's the psychedelic funk band.
So see,
Psychedelic.
that's you have to add the funk part to it because when you get to the funk part of it is the cosmic soul aspect of it. Like the
Mm-hmm.
psychedelic aspect of it is just the drug that complement the music and everything, get you psychedelically inclined to understand, or going to the symbolic or the sublimes aspects of the music. It's a lot of sublime aspects of the music that people don't catch unless you slow your, you know what I'm saying, thinking by smoking some weed or something. Listen to what that.
Like when he say, "I love those Mises to pieces." He's and those three Mises,
Three
three
blind
blind.
mice, yeah.
Yeah, he talking about the pineal gland, the hypothalamus, and the pituitary gland.
Right,
The
right,
three blind mice.
right.
Yeah, but
See,
yeah. So man, the day of reckoning is here. Um, okay, so not only you have all the weather calamity, but some economic calamity. The banks are falling apart. Oh man, this banking crisis, this shit is going to turn into something crazy. And now that Pluto is in Aquarius, that war in the Ukraine, that shit's going to spread.
good, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that shit's going to spread. That shit
Right,
has just been contained in one area. That shit's going to start. That shit might go global.
right, because they still have the same talking points in the general public as already aware that all Russia is doing is trying to secure their military strategic areas. So it's just like how they wouldn't allow Russia to come into Cuba. You know what I'm saying? And set up missile bases in Cuba and shit. The same
Yeah,
scenario.
yeah,
You feel me? So,
but not only that, you have this new BRICS uh, axis or alignment, this alignment of countries that are going to come up with their own economic structure and system outside of the SWIFT system, and that's predicated on the West.
well,
So
the thing about it is the only thing the average general, because that's really who is actually going to affect the general public, the thing you all have to be aware of is the day of just being a mindless zombie is over. The day of just being someone who just oblivious of what's going on around you, that's over.
That's over with. Yeah, the day. Well, see, revolution is in the air. It's all over the place. It's in
Yeah,
France, the Netherlands, how many countries all over the world. People are rising up and they're pushing back against these oligarchy governments. All these governments are oligarchs. They cater to the oligarchs. They don't cater to the people that matter.
No, they cater to corporate interest, bro. Corporate interest.
Yeah, the oligarchs. But see, now that Pluto's in Aquarius, it's going to flip. It's going to go the other way. It's going to be, the world is going to have to appreciate what's inside the human spirit. That's going to be,
humanity is going to have to appreciate what's inside the human spirit. I don't think all of humanity at this point appreciates that. And that's why they're going to suffer. They're going to suffer because they're so tied into this third dimensional orientation and emotionally attached to it. That's energy right there that you give into that. You're giving that energy to that. So now you're trapped. You're emotionally trapped there. You got to get out of that. You got to get out of it. Get out of her.
Or
when they say get out of her, that don't mean, that's not just meaning get out the grid. That's not just meaning get off the grid. It does mean get off the grid, but it also means spiritually,
mentally,
spiritually, emotionally attached to this. The spiritual, emotional attachment, the psychological attachments to this crap.
Yeah, their heart is attached.
Right.
Their lower self is attached because this matrix it grabs you by your lower self. It caters to your lower energy, so it got you by the balls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
And not only, and plus, most people are trapped in their lower chakras anyway, and they haven't gone to the higher chakras. They haven't gone to the heart.
Right. They haven't realized themselves in the higher aspects of themselves.
Yeah, and they haven't done the shadow work to be able to form a clear path from the root to the heart. Because you got to have a clear path from the root to the heart. In order to do that, you're going to have to do the shadow work to clear the pathway. So that energy, the kundalini, that it can flow to that heart. Once it gets to the heart, shit, you get into the crown, it's going to be a joy. And then you get to that crown.
For real.
Yeah, you haven't bound.
Get your last words in, brother, so we can go on and cut his show.
Well, we're in the death cross. Okay. The yield between the 2-year note and the Fed fund rate, they hiked interest rates a quarter basis points to 4.5%. And the yield on the 2 years 3.7. It was at 5.10. Now it's at 3.7. So it crossed. There's 100 basis point difference between the two. We're only probably days or weeks away from everything flipping to the other side. And we go into a full-blown recession and economic crash. We're just days or weeks away. The 2-year note's already telling it. We're in the death cross.
Thank you.
Okay, it's here.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I see it. The reason, no, let me just be honest. A lot of reasons why I celebrate it too, not just because of spiritual energetic, is because A lot of people gonna have to come down to earth out of their bullshit now, and that's what's going. Now it's going to be a different energy. It's already there because I swear, right now people have this. Oh my god, they fuck with me, but they really don't fuck with me. Energy type shit going on.
I think people are starting to kind of get it because there's so much calamity happening all at once, and
They still
people.
stubborn. They still
But,
stubborn though. Because
mm,
I like I said, I'm built with a body politics, bro. A couple of thousand brothers and sisters inside of this network that I'm dealing with, right?
oh, okay. So you're dealing with.
Right. So what I'm saying is they're still attached to the bullshit. They're still attached to it.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to make concessions still instead of realizing that this is the time right now that all of that has to be destroyed within us, though, not just outside. Everything that's happening outside is just a indicator of what we need to be doing inside.
Yeah, and we can't worry about what's outside. We pay attention to what's outside, but
No, no,
we
no,
pay
no,
more
no. Because
attention about what's going on inside. And then
right,
when you pay
right,
more
right, right,
attention
right.
about what's going on inside, then be prepared for what happens on the outside.
Remember when you was talking about the great attractor and what is it symbolize? I was telling you it's symbolizing us doing inventory, right?
Hmm.
What do you do when you do inventory? You make an account of everything that you have, right?
Hmm.
And then when you're doing inventory on a spiritual level or energetic level, you realizing aspects of yourself. You bringing stuff in, and just to make sure when you filter it through yourself and it expands back out, that and it's happening instinctively. No one, everybody don't realize that you're going to fix your energy regardless if you want to or not. It's going to fix itself.
Yeah.
Energy is going
And
to fix
karma,
itself.
that's what karma is all about. Karma is to get you to the point to where
Right. You're right.
you
You're exactly
fix it.
right. It
Not
is
something
called
that punishes you. Is something that helps corrects you.
yes.
It's
The
a
energy.
it's a cosmic corrector.
Right. Right.
It helps you correct your energy
Right.
to to a more proper perspective.
So
And
whatever madness comes out of that is necessary. There's a lot of
yeah,
madness that's going to come out of
pent
it.
up. Yeah.
Unexplained. It's not going to be able to be explained. It's going
Hmm.
to be madness.
It just
You
got to
just
come
got to
on out,
embrace it.
and it's
This is
going.
part of the dark work. It's like embrace it. The madness, embrace it. This is why you see me celebrating. You know what I'm
And then
saying? This is why
after
you
it
see
comes
me.
out, it's going to dissipate.
I'm doing the dark work because I'm not letting my human self dictate.
Hmm.
No, it's not about your humanity no more. That's over with.
That's over with. No, you got to be functioning on something much higher than that, much more than human. You got to become ultimate reality.
Exactly.
You got to become ultimate reality. That's what we are.
And
Ultimate
what is
reality.
what is becoming ultimate reality? And I'm gonna end with this. Becoming ultimate reality is personifying all of the elemental forces of the universe, recognize them as self. Recognize the all as one with yourself. This is a meditation you should be doing. Recognizing yourself as God instead of worshiping God, right? Recognizing yourself as order chaos. You
Well,
are
then
order and chaos.
that means
Recognizing
you have to.
when you see that that personification, right? That's you allowing yourself to recognize yourself again.
And that means you have to become the eternal darkness. You have to become pure space, dark space, And then
at this point, like you said, everything is everything. So you not only have to become the divine darkness, you have to become the divine light.
Well, the light, that's what,
The darkness is the light, bro. I get you. The darkness is the light. The light is the dark. Right. Yeah. The lightness is the dark, and the dark is the light.
Yeah.
Because how do we know? How do we know the dark is the light and the light is the dark? Because they cancel each other out.
Yeah. Well, everything exists
within. Oh, look, they not only cancel each other out, right? But they don't not only cancel each other out, but they complement each other at the same time.
But see,
like if you're looking at a light, if you're looking at a light, like I'm looking at this screen right now, it's light.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't comprehend anything if it wasn't for the darkness in this too.
Yeah. Yeah, if you just all light can be just as blinding. Being in a room just full of light can be just as blinding as being in a room with no light at all.
It is dark. It is just as blinding.
Yeah.
It's the same frequency. I mean, it's the same energy. It's just at two different polarities.
Mm-hmm.
With that, we gotta go because I gotta get ready for this next show, brother. And I appreciate you coming in.
Okay, man. I enjoyed this.
Sharing the energy.
Appreciate you for having me. Thank you.
And what we're supposed to be doing. And that's another part of the evolution is that all of the dispositions that we had that really didn't allow us to like really understand how to incorporate our energies and shit. That's what I look at it as, not just collaborating anymore. Like your energy may be something totally different. My energy, like most people say, like opposites should connect, right? Right, because y'all supposed to be trying to work out your differences right now.
We're both different pieces of a puzzle.
But once y'all work out your differences, that created a whole new paradigm now.
Yeah.
You create a whole new paradigm. If two people who never could even conceive themselves getting along, if y'all get along, oh my God, you just shifted the paradigm. You shifted shit.
Yeah, you
shifted shit now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's the energy I'm talking about, though. We need to get into.
Yeah, well, see, that's what would happen if one of those holy roller Christians, our Christian buddies, our Christian friends, if they came off that religious horse, it's going to happen in this age that
it is happening, bro. A lot of Christian people now they're open up to conversations they were never really open to have before. I'm talking to Christians though, because I know this because I talk to a lot of Christians. They're open to a lot of conversations they were never open to at first. So,
but there's this one black Christian preacher that's out there preaching against the occult and metaphysic world. He's taking all the metaphysics out of the Bible. He's just going to war against everything Gnostic, metaphysic, hermetic. And people that listen to this guy, they believe that Gnosticism, Hermeticism, all this shit is the work of the devil, and everybody is
guess what? You have no Bible no more then. You take everything of substance in that motherfucker, and now it's basically irrelevant now. If you take out the occult, if you take out the occult, if you take out all of the higher symbolism and metaphors and allegory and all of that, then usually what do you have there now? Nothing. Fuck out of here with that, man.
Yeah, this shit is poisoning. It's poisoning.
Well, he's trying to create more automatons, and I'm thinking that's counter to our evolutionary stage that we in right now. And if you're still doing that, that's that old energy, and we evolving beyond that right now. Like we already should understand that by now. Like, when like you be telling me, oh, we already understand that by now. No, we don't go back.
Yeah.
We ain't going back to
I
that.
know.
Like,
I know. It's like,
the thing about it,
let's
people
move
always try to
forward.
tell me. People always used to try to tell me, "Oh, it's not what you say; it's how you say it." I get it. But guess what? How I said it was true, though. What I said was the truth. It don't
And
matter
yeah,
how I said it was the truth. You feel
yeah.
me?
It's
You
just
want
that
me to
you can't
cater?
think how
You
I
want me to
said it.
cater to your ass? You want me to say it in a candy? Oh yeah, and you be more palatable to you. Okay. Well, I learned how to refine my conversation now. So
Yeah,
I refine my
I just be silent because my words probably right now my words can kill people.
yeah.
It can,
Mine
you know,
has. Mine has. I'm talking about to the point where they go to a state of depression fucking with me.
yeah,
But
yeah. My words.
we gotta go though, bro. I'll see you
Okay,
next
man.
weekend.
All
See y'all
right.
next weekend.
Okay.
Much love, much chaos, much order. You understand me? Abundant balance and we out.
Yes. Yeah. We out.